Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In this video, I'm really excited to introduce you to the first 8 Roberto Ugolini fragrances that we're launching in the US. To learn more about our partnership with Ugolini fragrances and the nose behind, check out this video. The first scent is the Roberto Ugolini Oxford. The Oxford comes to you in a brown bottle with a horn cap and a leather label. The Roberto Ugolini Oxford comes in our standard size. No, just kidding. This is the 1 liter bottle that is not for sale. Instead, it comes in the 100 milliliter flacon here. We also offer 2 milliliter samples that come with a vaporizer. The Oxford is the shoemaker Roberto Ugolini's personal favorite. As it happens, it was also the first scent in the collection designed for him. It's designed to be strong, classic, elegant, and traditionally masculine. It is a proper eau de parfum with 80% alcohol and 20% essences. As timeless and foundational as the classic menswear shoe it shares its name with, the Roberto Ugolini Oxford scent is extremely versatile. Frankly, I think it deserves a spot in every gentleman's cologne collection. Why? It's a fantastic blend of woody and spicy scents. It opens up with citrusy top notes like grapefruit and orange. These then transition into hard notes of black pepper, pink pepper, and geranium leaf. It's a combination of somewhat typical, but also atypical citric and spicy scents that makes it really memorable. The base notes are long-established woody scents. When I put it on, I feel like I could walk through a nice old-growth forest. Or I picture myself in a wood-paneled office. There's some cedarwood, sandalwood, vetiver, and patchouli. There's also some styrex for spice, but it's combined with a warm vanilla undertone. One thing that really stands out to me that it's a very well-balanced scent. When you smell it, you're not going to say, oh my god, I've never smelled this. It seems somewhat familiar, but then you notice, well, it's not that familiar and I haven't smelled it before. On my skin, it lasts about 9 hours. When I smell it, I want to put on my power suit. Honestly, the Oxford can be worn by men of any age, but I particularly associate it with a classic gentleman. The Oxford is not polarizing or in your face, but subtle and distinct. It's not like people on the street will smell it and say, Creed Aventus, I know that one. It's a classic masculine scent that is not ordinary. And because of that, I think most men will like it right out of the box. It's a fantastic cologne for people who interact with other people face to face all day. Let's say you're a salesperson of any kind, or maybe you're a doctor or an attorney. The Roberto Ugolini Oxford scent is perceived as being extremely pleasant, and whenever I wear it, I get compliments for it. In my mind, it's the ideal old money male fragrance. When I put it on, I definitely feel more powerful, serious, and mature. Let's say you're not in contact with people a lot. I still think it's a great scent for the office, or maybe for a business lunch. I'd also wear it for an evening out, going to a restaurant or a steakhouse, especially during the colder season of the year. When I think of outfits I'd wear with the Roberto Ugolini Oxford scent, the 3-piece suit comes to mind. Maybe the power suit, double-breasted with pinstripes. I'd wear a tie with it, but it can also be worn without a tie. And if you think about the shoemaker Roberto Ugolini, he makes shoes not in a suit, so you can also wear it in a more casual setting. In my mind, though, it's not the scent you'd ever want to wear with a tracksuit. Again, you can get it in the 100 milliliter or 3.4 fluid ounce bottle or a 2 milliliter sample. When it's time for a change, the Derby has all the versatile charm of the Oxford with a subtle twist. The Roberto Ugolini Derby scent comes to you in this black, shiny bottle, and the Derby leaves you feeling invigorated and ready to take on the world through the lens of the classic gentleman. It's a great all-season fragrance for the office or for networking occasion or when climbing the corporate ladder. It's also fantastic for dressier social occasions. Think of Kentucky Derby, for example. I also like applying it after a double edge or straight razor shave. The concentration of the Roberto Ugolini Derby is 25% essences, 75% alcohol, which makes it a little more concentrated than the Oxford. It has a good lasting power of 7 to 8 hours. It is also somewhat woody and spicy, but it adds an herbaceous note compared to the Oxford. In my mind, it is a clean scent, but the Oxford is probably more popular if you let people smell them side by side. The Derby is a bit more unique. If you look at the top notes, you can see why. They're crowded with herby notes. There's some basil and some cardamom and some artemisia, all those meant for a clean, bright opening. The heart notes add rich scents like night-blooming jasmine and myrrh. There's also more spicy elements such as pimento, cinnamon, and caraway seed. All these herbs are grounded by more traditionally masculine wooden scents. Think of patchouli, sandalwood, vetiver, birch, or musk. All these herbaceous notes gave Derby a strong, long-lasting effect, but it also has something a bit whimsical for it. I think because of the herbal notes, this works also with casual outfits as well as with more classic or formal outfits. And yes, if you want to wear a suit with it, go for it. On our team, Preston had a hard time deciding which one his favorite was, but if he had to pick one, it would be the Derby. Roberto Ugolini blue suede shoes comes in this beautiful blue flacon, and when Herbert Stricker designed the Roberto Ugolini fragrances, he knew that one of the scents had to be named after this classic rock and roll song by Elvis Presley. So he distilled all the confidence, the vigor, and the youthfulness of this song into a fragrance. The result is a blue bottle with a versatile, approachable, and crowd-pleasing fragrance. I promise, it doesn't smell like the average Elvis outfit looks. Instead, the blue suede shoes from Roberto Ugolini is a fantastic transitional scent for people who are maybe used to more mainstream colognes and fragrances, who now want to take the next step up into the niche section that is much more high quality. In my mind, it combines the mass appeal of a scent like Bleu de Chanel with the nuanced touch of a luxury fragrance. It's more potent, it's longer lasting, it's more complicated, but also more memorable, and at the end of the day, unique. Now, we all have different senses of smell, and because of that, we always recommend that you get a little 2 milliliter sample so you can wear it, test it, and see if you like it. But let's say you had to pick a cologne as a gift for someone that you may know or may not well so much. The blue suede shoes from Roberto Ugolini will probably appeal to 95% of people out there. No, not just men, but also women. In my experience so far, it is a compliment magnet. On my skin, it lasts about 9 to 10 hours. It's a well-balanced, woody and spicy scent. It opens with traditionally masculine and popular top notes of bergamot, anise, and pepper. It does have an unexpected twist, though, courtesy of lavender. Because of that, I think it can be worn during the spring-summer season, but I also wore this during the colder months of the year. As such, it is a true all-rounder fragrance. Crowd-pleasing, not seasonally dependent, and long-lasting. The heart notes, again, feature universally enjoyed notes of sandalwood, cedarwood, and patchouli. There's also some ambergris to improve the impact. The base notes complete the pairing with some typical and atypical scents. For example, it pairs tonka bean and vetiver with labdanum. So what on earth is labdanum? It's a resin that is known to have a sweet, warm smell that is associated with musk and amber. The Roberto Ugolini Blue Suede Shoes fragrance combines mass appeal with a twist. It's the perfect union of the expected and the unexpected. Just like the king of rock and roll himself. The sillage, or the strength of the fragrance when you enter a room, is just strong enough to be noticed, but not overpowering. Because of that, the fragrance is not overwhelming, but easy to wear. Blue Suede Shoes has a very youthful feel, so it's great for young people, but also for the young at heart. If I had to travel with just one fragrance, it would be the Blue Suede Shoes. Why? Well, it's great for work or for play, and it is a little more on the casual side, not too formal. I think it would be great at an alfresco dinner or at a fun upscale outing with friends. I could wear this watching a polo match or wearing a 3-piece suit. It's great with linen or blue suede shoes, but you can also wear it with denim. Heck, I'd even wear it with a tracksuit. But honestly, I only wear those for videos. Otherwise, I much prefer tweed, nicer fabrics, and a classic gentleman's wardrobe. The Kitten Heel comes in the clear red bottle. It was an earlier scent and it had a name of a women's shoe. But don't let the name fool you. Just like all the Roberto Ugolini fragrances, it is a unisex fragrance. Edtinig was inspired by superheroes like Wonder Woman when he designed this fragrance. He opted for the name Kitten Heel to express the versatility, functionality, and fun of this scent. My wife and business partner Teresa says that she doesn't associate heels with this scent at all. Instead, she gets new leather vibes from this scent. Kitten heels are definitely associated with ladies, and there is an element of sweetness in it that makes me realize why some would call this a lady scent. Personally, I've worn it, I've enjoyed wearing it, although it is not my personal favorite. It opens with sweet, floral, and fruity scents. The top notes are peach, mandarin, and geranium. There's also a prominent ylang-ylang note. That's a sweet floral scent with grounding earthy and green components. When I smell the Kitten Heel, I get goodbye winter, hello spring vibes. Here in Minnesota, we have very long winters that are cold, and when it gets for the first time above freezing in the spring, there's a feeling of warmth and joy. And this is exactly how I feel when I smell the Kitten Heel. The heart notes begin to transition to something spicy without being overbearing. You can definitely smell some masculine influences here. There's some guaiac wood, amber, sandalwood, and patchouli. Finally, there's a decadent bass note that strikes a good balance between masculinity and femininity. It's like vanilla and tonka bean, as well as savory musk. This fragrance can be worn during either daytime or evening or nighttime. It just is great when you want to convey a certain sense of fun. The sillage, or the presence this fragrance will give you in a room, is about medium, and it'll last about 7 hours on my skin. It's overall delightful, distinct, yet not overpowering. It'll help you feel playful and charming with a dash of opulence. It definitely has some old-world elegance and allure to it. For a woman, I can see this be worn with a jumpsuit or another fun outfit. As a man, maybe opt for something like a double-breasted flannel jacket with a turtleneck sweater. Or maybe get out the ascot, just something that's a little more fun and unusual. The Roberto Ugolini Azzurro scent comes to you in this beautifully blue bottle. The name of the fragrance is an Italian reference to the sky and its color on a particularly sunny day. It's also the nickname Gli Azzurri for the Italian national soccer team. And of course, their jerseys are also in a sky blue. Now, looking at this beautifully bright blue bottle, one could easily assume that it's an aquatic scent, but that is not the case. Yep, don't judge a book by its cover. Edtinig, the nose behind this fragrance, wanted to create something that was like a fruity sorbet or an ice cream without the dairy stickiness. And he definitely succeeded. In my mind, Azzurro is an amalgamation of fruity, sweet smells paired with champagne, just like a tasty, bubbly summer cocktail. It has this sparkling, effervescent, and tart feel, but maybe you'll also smell a bit like bread. That comes from the yeast, which is also in the champagne. Honestly, if you hear sweet ice cream, bread, and champagne, you may wonder how it all comes together, but it really does in this fragrance. Azzurro opens up with notes of grapefruit, strawberry, pink pepper, and even a hint of coconut. No, it doesn't smell like a typical tiki cocktail. It's much more refined. It's also not overly tropical, because in the heart notes, you get damask rose, blackcurrant, magnolia, and davana. These definitely restrain the fruitiness in an herby way. Of course, the additional sense of champagne keeps everything light and fresh and elegant. It's all tied together by simple base notes of amberwood and musk. Azzurro is the lightest fragrance in the lineup. It's not overly potent, but it does have a presence, and it lasts for around 6 to 7 hours. It was designed for carefree summer days when adventure is on the horizon. Or maybe you're not feeling so well. Azzurro is like wearable ice cream for your person. If you put on Azzurro, you will feel like cutting loose and having fun, and people who smell it around you will likely feel the same. I'd wear this when I spend quality time with friends and loved ones, having fun, laughing, and having a cocktail, maybe even a champagne cocktail. When I put it on, it makes me feel like sailing cliffside all summer long in Positano. It feels like a trip to the beach or a light-hearted lunch that makes me feel like I'm on vacation. Like all Roberto Ugolini fragrances, it is truly unisex, and for men I can wear it be worn with madras shorts, a polo shirt and boat shoes, or simply swim trunks. Likewise for women, an elegant swimsuit or a lovely airy summer dress. Now, having a Brazilian father, Brazil may be my favorite soccer team, but when I smell Azzurro, I want to shout out Forza Azzurri! Roberto Ugolini Marzocco comes to you in this beautiful purple bottle, and it's named for the heraldic lion that guards the city of Firenze or Florence. Violet purple is also the color of the local soccer team, the Fiorentina. When I put on Marzocco, I feel a bit like a lion that's revitalized and robust. The producer behind this fragrance, Herbert Stricker, was inspired by the German Ahoi Brause when he designed this fragrance. It's a sweet, effervescent candy powder that you put in your mouth to get those tingling sensations. At least, that's what little kids love to do. It's very typical in summer in Germany, and if you never had Ahoi Brause, you can now also find it in the US. Herbert Stricker sought to recreate this memorable childhood experience, this tingly feeling, that fun and that excitement. If you had told me that before, I would have said, it's probably quite difficult to recreate a tingling, effervescent feeling with scent. But I think in this Marzocco fragrance, you can clearly get that association. Reflecting on its dessert inspiration, you can clearly feel the sweetness, the fruitiness, and the creaminess in this scent. It seems like a highly experimental progression from one end of the olfactory families to the other end. There's top notes of mandarin orange, lemon and lime, and a special infusion of mint. No, it's not your run-of-the-mill mint smell. Now, the chemists at the fragrance lab can chemically break down and extract individual fragrances from their ingredients. That way you can highlight and emphasize a desired effect while muting another. The mint in the Marzocco fragrance is such an example. It doesn't smell like your typical mint, but it creates this tingling effect. Through its heart notes of orange blossom and jasmine, Marzocco descends into creamy, woody scents, such as vanilla, patchouli, cedarwood, musk, and some other precious woods. Marzocco is especially well suited to hot summer weathers, to spring weather, but it can also be worn in the fall. It has decent sillage, meaning it won't overpower the room, but it's definitely noticeable, and it lasts about 7 to 8 hours on my skin. So whether you're taking time for yourself island hopping in the Caribbean, or walking across Ponte Vecchio in Florence, or marking a big celebratory event, Marzocco is always a good companion. It's easy to wear and you can wear it every day, but it's certainly a fragrance that stands out from the rest, especially from mainstream scents. If you want to feel adventurous, sparkling, intuitive, and unique, Marzocco is for you. It's a perfect scent for anyone who likes easy living and wants to feel great. A spritz of Marzocco is guaranteed to lighten your mood and your day. I can see it being worn with nice, luxurious summer fabrics, soft, airy, breezy, in linen, silk, blends, nice cottons, and so forth. On our team, Marzocco is the favorite of both Nathan and Graham, who wear it with billionaire loafers and knit polos. 17 Rosso, or 17 Rosso, comes to you in this beautifully metallic red bottle, and the name of the fragrance comes directly from the streets of the city of Florence. There, the street numbers of businesses are written in red. And 17 Rosso was the address of the original Roberto Ugolini bespoke shoe workshop in Florence. The creator behind this fragrance, Herbert Stricker, definitely felt a bit more experimental when it came to this scent. It was the first one to have this higher concentration of 30%, which makes it this extrait de parfum because it's much stronger than any other perfume you usually buy. This higher concentration makes for more potency, more depth, and longer staying power. Because of the higher concentration, this bottle is a little more expensive than the others. On the flip side, this one will last 9 hours easily or more. My wife could smell it after 16 hours on me. If you wear it, you will definitely have a presence and leave a lasting impression. Overall, it's a nice blend of floral but also spicy scents. To date, it is Roberto Ugolini's best-selling fragrance, and I can smell why. In a nutshell, it is something extraordinary that can still be worn every day. In the top notes, you have succulent peach and raspberry leaf that mingle with sharp mint and saffron. All this is brought together by the ylang-ylang undertone that unites this scent. Spicy florals dominate the heart note, with a plush damask rose, pink pepper, and peony. The base notes are very grounding, with woody vetiver and cedarwood. There's also balsamic styrax and amaris, and sweet musky ambrette seed. If you're familiar with fragrances, you'll recognize that Gazette Rosso combines Western and Eastern style perfumery. That means you get noticed in an elegant way. I'd call it an unexpected scent profile with universal appeal. Because of its strong concentration, it has this really long lasting power. So if you need something that needs to last guaranteed all day, this is your scent. Gazette Rosso makes you feel empowered and individualistic, but also a slight bit mysterious. Really, it can be worn all day, but I love it in the evenings, especially if you need this extra dose of confidence and uniqueness. It's perfect for dining at a 3-star Michelin restaurant, or going out to the opera, or maybe just to smoke a cigar at the lounge. I can also see this being worn on an elegant ocean liner, or on a Nile cruise, or maybe when you go to Pitti Uomo. I think this is great for people who love understated elegance, but also like to be unique and not run-of-the-mill. It's a great daily wear for people who like to be recognized for their personal style. The fragrance Quattro Rosso or 4 Rosso comes to you in the dark red metallic bottle, and it is the address of the current or new workshop of bespoke shoemaker Roberto Ugolini in Florence. Just like Gazette Rosso, Quattro Rosso is a very potent fragrance with a 30% concentration. It's defined by the interplay of sweet and spicy scent with the addition of smokiness. When I first smelled Roberto Ugolini fragrances on tester strips, this one was my favorite. Smelling the Gazette Rosso and the Quattro Rosso side by side, I can see that they're related, but I like the Quattro Rosso more because it's a bit more toned down and it has this element of smokiness. Now, having used the fragrances for several months, having them worn on my skin all day, I still love Quattro Rosso, but I've also come to enjoy other fragrances in the lineup, such as the Oxford or the blue suede shoes. The top note has some angelica root, earthy, peppery, and bright. It's blended with some bergamot and saffron in the top notes. It leaves to a sensation that on the one hand is familiar, on the other is a bit more exotic. It definitely is full-bodied, and there is a pervasive smoke sensation. The heart notes have some decadent damask rose and ylang-ylang. I can also sense an edge of black pepper there. The base notes are so rich that they're almost a chewy mix of vanilla and caramel. But they're elevated by ambergris, guaiac wood, and musk. The dosage, or how much you spray on with this potent, very present fragrance, can make a difference. I think it's the ideal black tie scent, but I also wear it in the spring and summer when I just want something bolder, more smoky, and unusual. No matter whether it's a gala, a moonlit supper, or a gondola ride in Venice, this is a fantastic scent. I could also see this fragrance being worn while playing at a casino, James Bond style, just like in Baden-Baden, for example. This decadent and opulent fragrance will intensify every emotion you feel. It's definitely for the bold, for the ambitious, and for the resourceful. When conceiving an outfit associated with Quattro Rosso, I think of velvet, whether it's the velvet dinner jacket or the velvet evening gown. It is just a beautiful fragrance. Now that you know more about the Roberto Ugolini fragrances, we have little sample sizes so you can get one of them, a few of them, or all of them, and make sure that you get something that really works for you, because we cannot accept returns on full-size cologne bottles. So you may wonder which Roberto Ugolini fragrance is right for me, because having to choose from a number of different ones, it may feel a bit overwhelming. To help you navigate the options, we put together scent suggestions for the type of gentleman you are. If you haven't taken our quiz already, you can do so on our website. Once you take it, you will understand if you are a classic gentleman, an aspiring gentleman, a modern gentleman, a vintage gentleman, or a dandy. Keep in mind, these are just suggestions. The way you smell, the way you want to smell, and the way you want to feel is a very unique thing, and there's nothing right or wrong about it. It's all about what you like and dislike. In terms of gentleman style, I would describe myself as the classic gentleman, and that's what the quiz tells me. However, when I started, I was an aspiring gentleman. Preston, on the other hand, is also more of a classic gentleman, but he could also be a vintage gentleman. Nathan and Kyle are more on the modern gentleman spectrum. So you see, there's different types of gentlemen, but different people like different things. Therefore, we recommend that you get some sample sizes so you figure out what it is that you like. You can wear it on your skin, you can wear it all day, you can ask your partner, you can ask your friends, and just see how they perceive you, if they think this fragrance suits the type of gentleman you are.